Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Hannah and today we'll continue with our Security Plus 701 practice series. In this video, I've got 5 brand new exam style questions. But here is the thing, we're not going to pick just one answer and move on. No, we're not going it this way. But I'll break down every single option, like why wrong answers are traps and why the correct answer is the best choice. So, in that way, you don't just memorize it, but you actually understand how to think like the exam expects to you. So, grab your notebook and let's jump straight into question 1. Let's look at the question 1. A company wants to prevent sensitive data from leaving the network through email or USB drives. Which solution best addresses this need? We have A. IDS, B. DLP, C. Full disk encryption, or D. Firewall. Now, let me tell you something. We already got a keyword here, which is prevent. It's not editable. Prevent. We think about prevention to stop something before it happens. And if you know your acronyms, what does IDS stand for? What does DLP stand for? It's gonna be pretty easy one because the acronym itself tells you the answer. So let's break this down. What is IDS? IDS is Intrusion Detection System. It only detects suspicious traffic. It doesn't stop the data from leaving. So that's not the correct answer. What about B? DLP. DLP stands for Data Loss Prevention and it monitors and controls the data in motion, like emails and uploads. So that's the answer. What about full disk encryption? So full disk encryption it protects stolen laptops but not outbound data leaks. That's not the answer as well. What about D? Firewall. Firewall is just blocks the traffic. It can't analyze the content like DLP. Now you can see the example below as well. Let's look at the question number 2. Your company enforces mandatory vacations for employees in the finance department. So, what is the main purpose of this control? So, we have to highlight a keyword which is a finance. So, it's gotta be something that is related to that. A. Improve employee morale. B. Detect fraud or misuse. C. Reducing burnout. Or D. Enforcing separation of duties. I think you already got that hint. Let's break this down. So, answer A. Improving the morale. I think this is the side benefit and it is not security. What about detecting the fraud or misuse? Now, if someone is hiding fraud and if often surfaces when they are away and someone else covers their role, and that's the answer here. What about reducing the burnout? It is HR goal, not the security. What about D, enforcing the separation of duties? It is related but kind of different. Mandatory vacations specifically help uncover hidden fraud. And you can take a look at the example below. Let's go to question 3. Which attack is best prevented by input validation? A. ARP poisoning, B. SQL injection, C. DOS flood, or D. DNS poisoning. Now, what is ARP poisoning? ARP poisoning is in the layer 2 attack. Need is MAC filtering or dynamic AR inspection, not input validation. What about B? SQL injection. Attackers inject malicious queries in form fields. So input validation stops this. That's the correct one. But let's look at the DOS flood and DNS poisoning. So C is DOS flood. It is mitigated by RAID and limiting firewalls, not input validation. What about D? DNS poisoning. DNS poisoning it's prevented by DNS security, not input validation. So the correct answer is SQL injection. Let's jump to the question 4. I hope you're doing great. Comment below how many you got right. Which authentication method uses two or more different factors? We have A. Strong password plus PIN, B. Password plus security questions, or C. Fingerprint and smart card. Lastly, D. PIN plus password. So we have different password authentication types. Let's look at A. Strong password, PIN, or both. Something you know but still one factor. It has to be two factors, something you have or something you know. What about B? Password plus security question. Same factor, knowledge. And this is wrong. What about C? Fingerprint. Fingerprint is something you are, like you owe. What about plus smart card? Smart card is something you have and it is considered as two-factor authentication. And that is the correct one. What about D? PIN plus password. Again, um, that's both knowledge and that's not the answer. Let's look at the question 5. A company is concerned about insider threats and wants to ensure employees only have access to what they need for their jobs. Which principle applies? A. Defense in depth. B. Separation of duties. C. Least privilege. Or D. Job rotation. Now, let me explain it very quickly and briefly. Let's look at the answer A. Defense in depth. It is multiple layered controls but not access rights. What about B? Separation of duties. Separation of duties is splitting tasks between people, not general access restriction. If you look at C, least privilege is the correct one. Why? Because users get the minimum access needed, nothing more. And D, job rotation. Job rotation just prevents collusion, fraud, but not about minimizing the excess. Now let's look at the example below. So this was all for today. I'm pretty sure that you nailed them all. Comment below how many you got right. See you in the next videos.